So my grandmother has had this book in the house ever since I was a little girl, and it's called Crowns, and it's portraits of Black women in church hats. And this was always my favorite picture in the book, and it is a picture of Miss Cameron Bonham, and she says if a woman wears a hat all the time, she's going to look naked in the casket without one. And Miss Cameron at this time was 43 years old when she participated in being interviewed for this book, and she is a licensed funeral director. I hope wherever she is, she's doing well and that her family and her business are blessed. She tells her story about how she took over her father's funeral home after not being interested. But yeah, like it's little things like this that inspired me when I was a little girl, and let me know that there were women doing this amazing work. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that. Here goes another amazing photo from this book. And this is Miss Cassandra Patterson Brown, and she has the purse to match. And Miss Cassandra says, my hair turned brittle, short, and uneven. The only time that it didn't matter was on Sunday because I kept nice hats on all day. And at the time of being interviewed for this book, Miss Cassandra Patterson Brown was 45-ish and a customer service coordinator. And she talks a lot about having a new job and being so embarrassed about her hair falling out and being uneven and brittle. But it made me think about how important it is when we put hats on women in the funeral home, when we put their hats on in their caskets. They mean so much more than what sometimes I think we realize. We're honoring these women's humanity. We're covering up their insecurities, and we're presenting them back to their families and communities in a way that's dignified. And I talk a lot about church hats and the spiritual significance of other head coverings in my Introduction to Black Hair Care course. And if you want to learn more, of course, you can check that course out. The link is in my bio. But I'm just having so much fun reading through this book and playing with my inner child through the pages. I used to sit on my grandma's kitchen floor and just read this book constantly because I love the photos so much. So y'all will probably get a couple videos about this. I'm going to share two more with y'all and I'm done. But this beautiful woman is Miss Dolores Foster. And Miss Dolores is giving come hither in her hats, honey. Miss Dolores said, you can flirt with a fan in your hand. You can flirt holding a cigarette too. But a woman can really flirt with a hat. And during this time, Miss Dolores said, a lady never tells her age, but she did share that she's a retired real estate agent. And her stories were about her catching the attention of white men that she wanted to do business with her hats. And last but not least, this beautiful woman, her name is Miss Dolores Smith. And I love her quote. She says, I think adorning the head is a retention of African traditions. Hats are a part of us. Miss Dolores Smith at this time was 59 years old, and she was president of the Urban League chapter. And she talks a lot about the cultural implications of hats and head coverings as it relates to the African diaspora and African traditions. So, what a beautiful book. Thank you to the authors, Michael Cunningham and Craig Marbury. I know one of you is the author, the other is the photographer, but I cherish this book. And thank you to my grandmother for holding on to it and introducing me to it.